And our final speaker in this segment will be Simon Dubbins, the Director of International for Unite the Union in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Simon's an old friend of the Steelworkers, and we're really glad to see him here and hear his perspective. Simon.
Good morning, everybody. Colleagues, before I begin, I just want to put on record our delegation's sincere thanks for the magnificent hospitality we've received from the USW. Thank you, Dave, and thanks to International Director Ben Davis and Eileen Whitcroft for all the work that they've done. I also want to recognise my friend Fred Redmond for that magnificent speech yesterday. Fred, it was one of the finest speeches I've heard in a very long time, and I think you spoke for everybody, so thank you very much. Colleagues, it's an incredible honour to be able to address this USW convention, and I bring greetings and solidarity to all of you from our million-strong union, Unite, and from our colleagues in the delegation, Louisa Bull, Tommy Murphy, and Cliff Bowen, all truly great trade unionists and long-term friends of the USW. As many of you will already know, through our global union structure, Workers Uniting, our unions have had a very tight relationship for many, many years now, and it's great that our unions continue to grow stronger together. I'd love to go through many of those things and talk about where we're at in the UK. But given what's happening with Trump, I think there's a much more important message I've got for you. And that's this. Your slogan at this convention is all in on solidarity. Well, I want to tell you all that we're all in on solidarity with you in your struggles. Colleagues, we're watching with horror what's going on here in the US and with the vile Trump administration. What this looks like from outside and what President Dave McCall so perfectly expressed yesterday is that Donald Trump and his billionaire sidekicks are hell-bent on the creation of an oligarch state, built for billionaires, run by billionaires, in the interests of billionaires. And colleagues, we must not let that happen. The idea that you can make America great again by playing the nationalist card and pitting US workers against workers everywhere else in the world is an illusion and it's a lie. We in the UK lived through the same crap with Brexit, when a far-right movement promised everybody that voting to leave the European Union would be the quick-fix solution, but the reality has been exactly the opposite. And that's because this type of politics is always built on the lie that workers in a country have somehow got more in common with their bosses in the ruling classes than they do with workers in other countries. But we all know the truth. Workers in different countries will always have more in common with each other than they do with the bosses and ruling classes in their own countries. So I say this, colleagues, in the situation we're in, now more than ever, we need to come together as a global labour movement and face the challenge. And with Workers Uniting, covering the UK, US, Canada, Ireland and Mexico, and our global federations, industrial and uni, we have the structures and the means and the commitment to do it. And I know one thing for sure, the USW and its members won't shirk from that challenge. It's not in your DNA and it's not in our DNA either. Colleagues, Your union, like ours, was born from struggles and fights. Fights to defend our members, fights to build a better future for all. Your union, like ours, has never walked away from fights, especially when we're attacked. And I know your union, like ours, won't back down. And yes, it's not going to be easy. But when were the battles we've had to fight ever easy? Your battle for union rights and union contracts in the US has been amongst the most difficult struggles in the developed world. But you rose to the occasion and over the last 100 years won some great victories. The battle for civil rights in the US was brutal and murderous, but you fought the battle and you made massive progress, even if there is still a very long way to go to get real equality. And outside North America, our movement has always had to fight every step of the way to make gains. In fact, the last time I spoke here at the convention, the former Brazilian union leader, Lula da Silva, was in jail. But thankfully today, he's back where he belongs as president of Brazil. Some years ago, our friend from Los Mineros in Mexico, Napoleon Gomez, was being looked after by the USW in his exile in Canada. Today, he's a member of the Mexican Senate under a progressive and pro-union government. So we must never lose hope. Never lose hope and never get despondent. Things can and will get better if we've got the determination to fight back. Colleagues, look, I know time is tight, so I'll finish with this. We all know the world is on a precipice. We're in a very, very dangerous place. And we all know that we're in a fight for our very survival. So we're going to have to draw on every ounce of our strength, our determination, and our commitment. But I know you in the Steelworkers, under Dave's leadership, will do just that. From what I've seen yesterday and today, there's no way they're going to succeed in dividing the US and Canadians in the USW, and they won't divide us in the global labour movement either. So I'm going to go back from here, and I'm going to report back to the Unite executive. And I'm going to tell them the USW are solid, determined, united, and up for the fight. And I can tell you and assure you that the Unite and the global labour movement will be with you every step of the way. In every battle, we'll be standing with you, shoulder to shoulder. So long live the USW, long live Unite and Workers Uniting, and solidarity forever.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Great words. Appreciate it.